From Cornwall to Birmingham and Johnston and Bexhill, here's Ruben Spar on the radio.
Hello to Kayla Rose Music. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing really well, thank you. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for letting me chat to you today. So, can you tell me, how long have you been a singer-songwriter for?
So I've been singing, and I guess in the professional industry, I'd say for the last 3 or so years. But in terms of how long I've been kind of doing stage work, for, it would be since I was a very little kid. My mum's a singer, and she sings in a band. So as soon as I started talking, they had me up on stage singing. So yeah.
So, what was it like going into the recording studio to record your debut single?
It was so much fun. I think for me, it was really nice to go into the studio. First of all, I recorded with an amazing studio. It's with Dan Cosgrove, and his studio is very warm and lovely, and you can kind of feel free to make any mistakes, and you can do your take as many takes as you need to make sure that it gets perfect. So I was really proud of it, and it was nice to just be able to kind of make those mistakes, and if I did, then it was okay because we could do it again.
So, can you tell me more about your debut single called Drinks?
Yeah, so I wrote the song when I was about 21, and we were going through a pandemic at the time. I'm sure you remember. And we weren't able to go out for a long time, and by the time that we could go out and do things, I would go out to like a nightclub or go out to a bar, and I'd have to buy drink after drink after drink, and it was getting very pricey. And I'm sure it would be exactly the same over in the UK. So I found it just as exhilarating and as exciting to go to the liquor store just down the road and buy me a cheap bottle of wine and have a drink or two at home with the people that I love, the people I actually enjoy spending time with, without having to be crowded in amongst strangers. And it was really just a way of celebrating celebration with the people that I love. And so I wanted a song that could be on the radio, that I could sing along to, that encapsulates that.
So, what was it like putting your debut EP together?
Sorry, what was that?
And was it like putting your EP together?
It was interesting because I haven't done it before, and it was my very first EP, or my very first musical project that I was collating together and then putting out into the world. I had a lot of great advice that I got from industry professionals in New Zealand, and so I'm really lucky there. And I got to collaborate with exactly how I wanted the EP to sound. So I definitely wanted to have originals in there, but I also did want to have a couple of covers in there that kind of gives you an idea of what my range is. So you'll see that there are 3 covers in total, and 3 originals in the EP and 2 covers. The 2 covers, you've got one of them that is a duet with my uncle, which I'm really happy to have. And that's one that's fairly recent, and a fairly recent country song. And the other song is a Loretta Lynn song from back in the 19 whenever. And so, and then I've got my originals, and they kind of encapsulate how my life is going within that time. So kind of in that early 20s, trying to find yourself in the world, and dealing with things like having your first loss in your life, and first major loss, and trying to find yourself at 23, and wanting to have a really good time but not wanting to spend any money, because what 20-something-year-old has money. So that's kind of how I wanted to treat the EP. I wanted to treat it like a diary entry. So if anything else, that will give you an idea of exactly what my life was like in that first 5 years of my life. Five years of my 20s.
So, how did you come out with the Dear Little Me title for your EP?
So Dear Little Me is my second single that I brought out in September. And so it's the title track of the EP. Yeah, like I said before, Dear Little Me is a diary entry to myself. The single itself and the song is, I actually wrote it while I had COVID. So I was in bed, like typing away on my phone. I wrote it about, it's about, you know, a young, you know, aspirational kid that really wants to be in a certain place in her life, you know, romantic wise and career wise and job wise, everything like that, and kind of getting to those early 20s and thinking that you're going to be there but you're not, just because that's how life goes, and you're also having to worry about paying bills and living and having food in your tummy and all of that stuff. So it was really a diary entry to myself to say, hey, I know you're not where, I'm not where you expected me to be right now, but I'm going to keep trying and I'm going to do my very best to make you proud. And in a way, like within what I've done so far in releasing this EP and having it go across to all sorts of different areas of the world, like the UK, I've fulfilled that purpose to a certain degree. There's still a long way to go, but I'm already making my younger self proud and just being able to share my music with the world.
So, are you working on any new music in the near future?
I am. I'm planning on doing some more recording this year. I have a couple of, well, I have more than a couple of songs that I'm planning on recording, and I'm really excited. That's probably all I can say right this second. I've also recently moved to Australia from New Zealand, so I'm also working on getting that Australian live portfolio going over here so that I can still be making music and performing and getting out there within the Australian country music scene, whilst also making my own music and recording and releasing and yada, yada, yada.
So, have you thought about doing a collab with another artist in Australia or around the world?
Absolutely. I mean, it's always got to come organically, doesn't it? So I would definitely do it. I mean, in my most recent EP, I was able to collaborate with Dan Cosgrove, who was the person that produced and created the EP, and also with my uncle Kevin Greaves. He's an amazing singer in New Zealand. And I was able to do a duet with him for my first EP, and that's something that I'm going to keep with me forever, as he unfortunately passed away a little over a year ago. So yeah, going into the next EP and so on, wherever my kind of releasing journey takes me, definitely planning on doing some collaborations with people within Australia as well as beyond.
So, what's it like being an independent artist for you?
It's interesting. There's definitely a lot of work that comes to it. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. And I think it's also very rewarding, because when you do kind of get to a certain place like this where you're talking to people from all over the world and doing these amazing interviews and getting your music known, it's a real achievement, because, you know, who does that fall back on? I do have amazing support, and I'm very, very privileged and very lucky to have that. But also, I've worked my butt off to get myself here, so I can. I feel really proud to be an independent artist, and I'm excited for what's next to come.
So, can you tell me how'd you come about Blue Shamrock music distribution? How did that come about, releasing your music?
So I came across Blue Shamrock through the promotion company that I also work alongside. So their name's Key 2 Promotions, and they put me onto Blue Shamrock as part of like a way of getting more of my music out there. Like you said before, I am an independent artist, so whatever help and assistance I can get to get my music out there further than I could even imagine, is thanks to companies like Key 2 Promotions and Blue Shamrock.
So, have you got any upcoming gigs that you want to promote to the world?
Yeah, so I have a few coming up over the next few months. I'm thinking, based on when this video will be dropped, I'm going to be at Banshees, which is in Ipswich. I'll be there at 4:00, and it's a really cool little bar right in the middle of town. It's really, really cool. Other than that, I do also have a duo that I've recently that myself and this other person have recently just put together. It's called Rocket Rose, and we've got some cool gigs lined up from April onwards. And so my best advice, because there's so many and I can't really name them all, feel free to give me a follow at iam_Kayla Rose. That would be your best place to find everything. That's where I post all of my bits and pieces, including gig guides and whatnot.
So, have you got any other socials that you want to mention?
Also, if you are not Instagram inclined, if you're more of a Facebook person, feel free to look me up on Kayla Rose Music. That will be the best way to search me. But yeah, those between Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, those are the main three at this stage. I'm not much of a Twitter girly, if I'm totally honest. Whatever it's called, X, whatever it is. But yeah, those are the main three ones that I would, that you can find me on.
Thank you for letting me chat to you today.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye.